Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple Lunar Rose Love and Astrology Night. Tonight, I'm going to be going over the astrology for the week of the 13th through the 19th. It is my birthday week, so that is my main focus. We do have a special giveaway that we're doing tonight for my birthday. And guys, remember, we are multi-streaming, so we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. Guys, I'm still getting over my cold, so my voice is not the greatest, but I am feeling much better, a lot more energy than I had probably for a week now. I feel like that head cold, sinus cold really got me pretty good. And what's interesting to me is it really coincided with the storms that we were having out here in Kentucky where I'm at, right? I see Sherry coming in. Diana is with us on YouTube. Michelle is coming in on Facebook. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. Let me know, guys. We have sound. We have picture. You can see everything okay. Guys, Mercury retrograde ends today. Today is the day, right? Now, remember, we do have shadow periods, so we could experience some of those energies, but I think for the most part, all of that tech issues and delays and all the communication issues should start to die out and get back into alignment, right? All right, Jocelyn joining us over on Facebook. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. All right, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. We're in that week where we just talked about Libra full moon. It actually comes in on the 12th. So remember, guys, we're always a week ahead. We've already talked about Libra full moon. We did that last week, and all those videos can be found over on my YouTube channel under the live tab. Thank you, Diana, for the audio check. So what we're doing now is we're looking at that week between the full moon, the Libra full moon, which happened on the 12th, and then of course the new moon, which comes in at the end of the month. So I'm going to start with the 13th, and I'm just going to kind of review the astrology. It's really interesting to me because most of the transits are really just the moon transit. So pay attention to those as I go through that energy. Once I get done with that, we will read for the collective, and I will offer some free and paid mini readings at the end. Guys, this is my birthday week, so we are going to be doing a giveaway tonight, and I am giving away a birth chart consultation. It can be for you or a friend, so that is what we're playing for tonight. Anyone who participates in the free or paid readings will be entered in for our giveaway, and I will be announcing the winner at the end of tonight's live. Guys, these lives last about 2 hours, right? So if you're used to it, right, get your water, your snacks, get comfortable. If you're new, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow button, join button, all of that good stuff. All right, let's get started with the astrology portion. And remember, we're looking at the week of the 13th through the 19th. So this is after Libra full moon energy. So on the 13th, the moon is going to start the day off in Libra, and it's actually going to be square Mars in Cancer. Guys, Mars still in Cancer. Not too much longer, but Mars definitely has had quite a journey through Cancer. But this is going to be frustration energy. I feel like it will make you feel like you want to quit something. So you're really going to have to dig deep to keep going forward. This is not the time to quit. And it's very possible you may just need to take a little break, right? April 13th. So also on the 13th, the moon is going to enter Scorpio. And this is you made it energy, right? So we made it through that Libra full moon energy. This is when we're going to step into our power. Guys, again, excuse my throat, my voice. I know it's still pretty rough, but I'm just so happy that I didn't have to postpone and that I'm feeling so much better. So bear with me and my scratchy voice tonight. On the 14th, the moon is going to be in Scorpio, and this is going to be get to the heart of the matter energy. You're going to have this newfound confidence from the day before, right? And that's going to help you go find like the root of the problem on the 14th. On the 15th, the moon is still in Scorpio. It's going to trine Saturn in Pisces. This is going to be energy that's going to ask you to be very disciplined. Take control of your passions. Don't let your passions control your actions, right? Also on the 15th, the moon will then enter Sagittarius, and this is going to be out opening up to new experiences. So getting out of the comfort zone. On the 16th, I would circle this for a hot date for those of you on this very specific type of spiritual awakening journey, because Mercury is going to enter Aries. So things are going to come full circle when Mercury enters Aries, and it's going to make you you're gonna pick things up that you thought you dropped like forever last month in March, right? Which is pretty interesting because I mean, isn't it funny how we think we're done with something and then it comes back around to bring something full circle? That's what's gonna happen on the 16th when Mercury enters Aries. We're also in a waning gibbous moon in Sagittarius on the 16th. On the 17th, that's my birthday. Guys, I'm going to be 46 years old. I am still like freaking out about that. I don't feel 46 years old. I feel like the same. I don't know. It's so weird getting older, right? But I just want to point out that is why we're having today's celebrations, right? Also on the 17th, Mercury in Aries is going to be conjunct Neptune in Aries. So this is about finding new ways to start creative projects, April 17th. On the 18th, Mars will enter Leo. Thank goodness, have mercy. I am so ready for Mars to leave Cancer. Guys, I am an Aries. My sun is in Aries, so my chart is ruled by Mars. I also have Mars and Mercury in Aries, so there's a lot of fiery Aries energy. My Mars did not enjoy Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer was all about having to sit still and pull up these feelings that were like holding me back and really dive into what it was that I was hiding from, what it was I was trying to like sweep under the rug, right? Mars in Cancer was extreme and it was in there for so long because it was going direct and then it went retrograde, then it went direct again. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when that happens in a sign, it seems like it spends like extra time in that particular sign. So Mars in Cancer was definitely rough for a lot of us, especially if you have strong Aries placements, right? So luckily on the 18th, Mars moving into Leo. I feel like this again is going to be about things coming full circle, but this time it's about things that you dropped back in November or December of 2024. So think back, what were you doing in November or December 2024 that you stopped doing? And it's going to be one of those things that you're like, I'm done with this forever. And then you find out, you know what, you're not done with it after all. I do feel like this time around, the energy is going to be much more exciting. All right. Also on the 18th, the moon will enter Capricorn. So this is about focusing on long-term plans. And on the 19th, the sun will enter Taurus. And this is when Taurus season begins. So you're going to work on finding more confidence, really finding or creating new or more resources, financial opportunities. And the most important thing I think we're going to learn about Taurus season this year, 2025, is going to be being present. I think being present is going to be the most important. So I see Jocelyn on Facebook says, what is cosmic? All right. So I just told you all the transits that we're going to experience the 13th through the 19th, which is the week that we're looking at, right? And again, a lot of that is going to be Mars and Leo energy, right? And a lot of moon transits, really, that I think are going to be the most impactful. But we'll look at which transit is going to be most impactful for you. How are you going to feel the cosmic influences that are happening this week? So that's what I mean by cosmic event, cosmic influences, that type of thing. I see the list filling out quickly, so let's make sure that we close the list at 11. I do appreciate everyone coming in and participating. And that is going to be the free reading right there on your screen. And let me get over to our regular screen. And that's what I have for you guys astrology wise. Let me grab a drink real quick. All right, so I'm going to read for the collective first. And I'm going to start out with the soul's journey. So when we read for the collective, we're looking at masculine and feminine energies. Remember, guys, everyone has masculine and feminine within. Let's start on the masculine side. So two cards come out. We have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Um, so I heard a couple different things when I turned the card over. For masculine, this could be this energy of two steps forward, one step back. In other words, like not able to gain a lot of traction at this time. It's like they feel like they could be getting a little bit ahead, and then something happens and they go right back to something. That could be coming out for masculine. Also, with the imagination, is like not sure how to stop a cycle, not sure how to stop repeating a cycle, not sure how to like break out of a cycle, break free from a cycle. It was the picture that gave me the energy of needing to like break free from a cycle. All right, let's look at the feminine energy. Sound and picture, everything's still okay? All right, for feminine, we have surrender. I can release my need to control. That's funny coming out for feminine energy, right? Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. All right, so if you resonate more with divine feminine, or you feel like you're having trouble receiving or being open to receive at this time, it could be because you're struggling to make a decision. You're struggling to choose something a lot of times for the feminine energy, and don't shoot the messenger here, but a lot of times for the feminine energy, when the feminine energy is in this energy of indecision, it is because there's a lack of control, or you don't feel like, it's almost like there's, so let's say you're at a fork in the road and there's two options, right? You know the indecision card in the energy oracle where it shows her like standing at the tree and there's the fork in the road, and I always say that she's actually chosen both options, but she only gets about halfway down the path on each option, and then things start to get blurry and foggy in the picture and she can't see ahead, right? And that's where she has to have faith, but she can't see, so she can't control something. She can't control the outcome of something. So because she can't control the outcome of something, she comes back to that tree, back to that fork in the road, because that's the safe zone. That's her comfort zone. That's where she still has the decision to make, right? So it's like she chooses something, but then comes back like, no, 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 I'm not ready to fully commit to that situation. That could be what's happening for divine feminine. All right, let's look at the bridging energy. All right, bridging energy, we have discipline. This makes a lot of sense with Saturn. Saturn is going to be in Aries in 2025. And that's going to be pretty significant energy that I feel like we're all going to notice on a daily basis. And it is going to be about self-discipline. It is going to be about realignment. For some of us, that's going to be easy. Like we've already been doing the work. We've already been getting up every day, putting our time into our spiritual practice and spiritual journey, but a lot of us, we lack the self-discipline, me included here, and it's like we lack the ability to do it every single day, right? What happens to me, again, this is going to be that Aries energy that I struggle with, is I have like the burnout syndrome. So it's like I can go at something really hard for a burst of time, right? Like a period of time, but then there's like a burnout. So it's like I can't, I have to be able to balance that out, and not, what do they say? It's a marathon, not a race, I guess, is what I'm trying to, point out here. So there is that energy coming out with the discipline card. And then let's do one more. We have the peace card coming out. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. I feel like we're all learning to release any negative energy around us, right? Or we're removing ourselves from energies that we think are like pulling us down or causing us like negativity. That's all really common. Success is on the bottom. It says, I know that there is no greater goal than to love. All right, so here's my new issue, and we have like how many people in here? I see several on the list. So I have a question for you guys in here. Are you ready? And I know like Dina's in here, so I know some of you um are following your purpose and you're following your spiritual guidance and you're out helping other people as they're going through their spiritual awakening journey. Several of you do social media. Several of you make videos and offer help and service and assistance in that way. What do you ladies do about the light? What do you do about the light? Because I love that we can see the cards now. Remember when we used to have the issue that there wasn't enough light? Remember that? And then sister bought me one of these fancy, you can like mount your phone on it and you can live stream and take it with you everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? It melts like a melting. I'm literally melt. Like what do I do about the light? I mean, good thing that I've stopped wearing makeup, right? Like what's going on with the light? And remember, the 17th is my 46th birthday. So I'm definitely at that age, right? Where it's like um the hot flashes, the heat is not my friend. Not my friend at all. All right, so I'm gonna clarify as soon as I pull my hair up. And I'm gonna use regular Rider Waite. I like to clarify with the tarot because then that helps us look at certain signs. Michelle says, try a neck fan. What is that? I want one. What is a neck fan? Oh my gosh, that sounds like it should be something good. Right? William 3130, welcome. All right, here's a little tarot. Let's look at this masculine energy. I feel like imagination and failure is just trying to think of a new way to break an old cycle. That's what I'm getting for divine masculine. So let's see what comes out with the tarot. All right, so we have 5 of swords coming out. We have the 6 of swords coming out and the Fool card coming out. So 5 of swords, trying to think of something, right, in your mind. Could be having some negative thinking in the mind as well. The 6 of swords being guided to calmer waters, and the Fool being able to take a leap of faith or start something new, right? So I do get this energy like divine masculine is trying to break free from an old cycle of doing something. I will say that I did hear a few words when I was looking at the masculine energy. Some of these masculine energies can be dealing with some type of the old cycle could have something to do with something that's karmic, low vibrational energy. I mean, that could be anything. It could be arguing, disagreements, negative people. It could be fights. It could be addictions. It could be with not withdrawals, but relapses. It could be all of that energy there. All right, let's look at surrender and indecision for divine feminine. I think for divine feminine, this has something to do with controlling, control issues. It has something to do with like not being able to see what an outcome is to something. So it's like I'm hearing the words micromanage, so that could be for someone as well. So here's what's happening when you're at this place where you're like, you need to make a decision, you need to make a choice, you need to choose something, but you're struggling to be able to do so, or you have fear to make a choice. Understand that everything works for your greater good. It doesn't matter which option you chose, what the path will align for your greater good, period. End of conversation. That's how it works, right? So you're just wasting the time standing at the tree, standing in your comfort zone, going, oh, I don't know which way to go, because it won't matter. Nothing that is meant to be yours can pass you. So whichever path you choose, what's meant to be yours will meet you on that path. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, the Chariot is there. The Chariot says, go quickly. Like, don't be scared. Move quickly. The victory is already yours. Then we have Page of Pentacles. This is a new offer, a new journey, or getting started, taking the first step. And then we have Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords could have something to do with disbelief, but I think here lately it's been a lot more about leveling up, especially if you're starting something new. It could be like you're scaling up, leveling up. It could be even in, like, let's say it's a work career situation. Maybe you're trying to get a raise, a promotion, something like that. Like, the victory's already yours. It's definitely a step up. And there's also this energy of we don't need to tell everybody everything that we're doing, right? All right, discipline and peace is the bridging energy. I feel like it's more of peace of mind is the word I just heard. So it's more of like if we can focus on our self-discipline, that could bring us peace of mind, definitely. Guys, bridging energy, let's talk about that for a moment. I feel like the spirit told me someone may not know what that means. So this is your masculine energy. This is your feminine energy. Bridging energy is your current spiritual lesson. So remember, everyone has masculine and feminine energies within. So if you're in this collective, you could be learning this specific spiritual lesson at this time. If you're in this collective, if you're following me, if you've been following me, if you're drawn to my messages or they pull at your heartstrings, or you feel like I'm talking to you directly, right? People are like, Rosa, are you talking to me? No, I promise. um, but I mean, I am, but I'm not, right? But people think I'm talking like specifically to them. If you feel that way about my messages, it's because you're having a spiritual awakening and you're learning to balance your masculine and your feminine energies. Now, some of you correlate your masculine and your feminine readings with a person that awakens you, right? So bridging energy could be it not could be, it is the current spiritual lesson that you're both learning at the same time. It doesn't have to be at the same place. Like, you could be in separation and you could be with different people and different places. It doesn't matter. It's still the same spiritual lesson at the same time. So that's what I mean when I say bridging energies. It's what's currently bridging you together. There's something about self-discipline, and there's something about it giving us peace of mind. Michael Bolton is playing. I don't remember what this particular song is called, but for some reason I've been listening to a lot of Michael Bolton. Do you guys know who Michael Bolton is? I don't know. I don't know why. Tell me in the comments, in the chat, what music have you guys been hearing? I did I said I loved you, but I lied in a shorts, and I think that's why, like, suddenly I'm getting a lot of Michael Bolton's, because I keep hearing it and I want to hear it again. But yeah, like, sometimes we get like these collective songs. But yeah, that could be one. So if you've never heard it, Michael Bolton said I loved you, but I lied. All right, so Queen of Pentacles comes out. Queen of Pentacles, very disciplined energy. Three of Wands, taking action towards your future. And Three of Swords is about the healing journey that we're on. Nine of Wands is on the bottom. Nine of Wands, oh my goodness. It is, it could be stubborn energy, but that's not it. It's when you're doing something for a long time. When I turned it over, I heard keep pushing, and that is what we do, right? All right, let's do a quick head, heart, and higher self. This is where we look at both the masculine and the feminine's thoughts, feelings, and higher self lesson. So for the masculine, guarded comes out in the headspace. Separation, longing comes out in the heart space. And we do have a facade and beliefs, taking the mask off, higher self. So masculine could be struggling with their spiritual beliefs. They could be struggling with taking their mask off and showing people who they really are. They could be guarded and feeling vulnerable. They could be dealing with some type of longing issue in the heart space. They could be going through some type of separation. This could also be a message from divine feminine. Let's look at divine feminine, head, heart, and higher self. All right, so we have family and commitment. That's what divine feminine is focused on in her journey. I know that is true in my case. Seeds being planted, springtime. Springtime is here for me in the US. My birthday is like the start of spring. Um, so something that that was planted could be coming to fruition at this time. Divine masculine could be planting a seed that they're looking to grow into something, and the message from divine feminine could be the separation, because I do feel that divine feminine is focused and dedicated on home, family, and commitment. Let's look at the higher self lesson for divine feminine. Remember awakening. So what's happening for divine feminine, there's a lot of activations happening. There's a lot of different chakra activations happening, and there is this energy of going back to our roots, like where we came from, understanding the spiritual journey or spiritual awakening that we're experiencing. A lot of us are experiencing a lot of the energies that have to do with the counterpart energy, the person that awakened us. I do feel like this happens a lot throughout the journey for different reasons. Sometimes I feel like it could just be a test of our own self-discipline, right? Because remember, it's not about the person, it's about the purpose, right? All right. I am going to pull some messages. I'm going to use these message cards that Miss L gifted me a while back. Every once in a while, I miss her and I try to use the cards that she gifted me to see if I can channel her back. All right, so let's start with the masculine to the feminine. Once respect is gone, it's time to move on. That seems very karmic. Masculine could be struggling with respect in some way. I feel I don't have enough to give you comes out. That seems very runner type of energy. I want to work this out. I just don't know how. And that is that imagination trying to break out of some type of repetitive cycle. All right, let's look at the divine feminine energy. What does divine feminine want to say to divine masculine? All right, was this a codependent relationship? Let me look at how past behaviors demonstrated this. I do feel like the twin flame journey causes us to break free from codependency. That's one of the first lessons that we experience. If I can't figure this out now, this will be taken, it says this will be taken to the next lifetime. It's actually very true, but I don't think it's a figure it out now type of thing. I think it's something we do lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Last one, divine feminine to divine masculine. Don't turn the situation into something that cannot be fixed. Think carefully about how you want to respond. That's actually a 3D message. Like that's something I actually physically said in my journey. How interesting is that? It was a time where something was experienced that had never been experienced before. And I was like, I really think that we should think things through before we, say anything that we may regret later, right? All right, let me pull some guidance. Let's do Tree of Life for guidance tonight. And then we'll move on to those mini readings. The Chariot, Cancer energy coming out for divine feminine. The Fool, Aries energy coming out for divine masculine. All right. The Seeds card coming out. How interesting. Remember we seen the Seeds card for divine feminine? So planting new seeds. nurturing something fragile, something new, beginning of growth. The Man card is coming out. I do feel like divine masculine could be going through some type of particular struggle. And the Family card, where divine feminine is focused. We do have branches fallen on the bottom. Branches fallen does talk about needing to clean up our space at this time, remove any stagnant debris, any energy that's no longer serving our greater good, so it doesn't cause us a problem later, right? All right, guys, that is going to be the collective. I hope it was helpful. Again, thank you so much for bearing with me and my scratchy voice. I know it sounds almost worse, but I promise I'm feeling much better. All right, so I'm cleaning up, and now I'm going to go over and check on our list. Let me know what you guys thought about the collective. You guys feel like some of that was ringing true? Divine masculine energy definitely has me slightly curious, for sure. All right, list is Jocelyn on Facebook. Wants general guidance. Sherry on YouTube. Cosmic Influence. Dina, YouTube. Cosmic Influence. Jenna, YouTube. Sandra, YouTube. Vanessa, Facebook. Cosmic. Chan Lee on YouTube. Cosmic. Diana would like talking to heaven. And Tiona would like general guidance. All right, that's a good start. All right, Jocelyn is first. Put those right there. Pull out my Queen of the Moon. We're actually going to use Queen of the Moon for cosmic influence, but I use those for general guidance as well. And then I need to find my Black Moon Oracle. All right. All right, Jocelyn first with a general guidance. So let's see what Spirit wants to talk to Jocelyn about. Guys, we're doing the giveaway tonight. It is a birth chart consultation. It's where I go through your birth chart, all 12 houses, all 12 signs, all your placements. I give you a general overview of the chart. These are lengthy. They can take like an hour. They are recorded. I send the video to you. If you've already had one, or if you want to gift it to a friend, you can do that. Anyone who participates in tonight's readings will be entered. So what I'll do is at the end of our list, I'll put everyone's name on a little piece of paper. Look what I found, Sandra, the little notebook Sandra gave me with the little sticky notes, right? So we'll put everybody's name down, and then we'll draw at the end of the readings. Okay, 2 cards come out. Self-reflection, nourishment, growth is on the bottom. I normally like to do some past, present, future with these, Jocelyn, but you have a really direct message. You are going through some type of growth. There is this energy of divine timing. I do see the watch. Something could feel like it's taking too long. You could feel like something is taking too long. But the message that I'm getting is the self-reflection could just have something to do with the journey that you're on, or you could be doing some shadow work. When we're doing shadow work, guys, you don't have to have the shadow work journal to be doing shadow work. Shadow work is just when we are more aware of our, I don't want to put a label here. Um, of who we are, of our actions, of our presence. It's just awareness, self-awareness, okay? So you could be doing shadow work and not even realize that you're doing this, but it's just when you're becoming more self-aware and when you're trying to heal through your spiritual journey. The message for you, Jocelyn, is going to be the nourishment card. It's number 7, so the number could be significant to you, and this is 17, so 177. But the nourishment is mind, body, and soul. It's very possible that you're doing something and there's no balance. You're overdoing something. All right, real quick. So the soul has like a journey. Like pretend this line is the soul's journey, right? And on this path, um, there's things that you need to do, and when you get too far from your path, you kind of go more towards like the darker energies or the heavier, lower vibrational energies. When you start to come back towards alignment, you get more towards the lighter energies, right? It's very possible that you're going too far into one extreme. So if I'm talking to you and let's say right now you're at home and you're wearing, black clothes head to toe, and the lighting is super dark and moody. You know what I'm trying to say? You could be like vibrating more down this side of the line, right? And let's say it's the opposite. Maybe you got all the candles lit and all the incense going, and there's crystals everywhere, and you're going more this side of the line. You see what I'm trying to say? The goal is going to be the balance in the middle. The nourishment card talks about the 3: mind, body, and soul. So is it possible that um you're nourishing the mind and the soul, but you're like ignoring the body, or something like that? That's going to be the message. I hope that was helpful. All right, next. Sherry on YouTube. Jocelyn says work, I guess, as I'm a career. I took a couple of days off to rest. Yeah, it's going to be important. Jimmy, hello. What I'm finding interesting is a lot of us are dealing with what I like to call forced vacations. And it's where we overworked ourselves, or like we overdid something and the soul is realigning us. And so it's like me, like I just dealt with this sinus cold for a week, and I didn't miss any lives, but I definitely had to take like 2 days where I was just downtime, right? Like just sleeping, resting, all of that stuff. She says, totally, it resonates. Beautiful. I love it. All right, there is Sherry. Sherry is getting cosmic influences. So I'm going to start out with the Black Moon Oracle. If y'all hear me sniffling, I apologize. It's still lingering, but I do feel much better today. I sprung out of the bed today instead of rolling out of the bed today. All right, Sherry, the first card is going to be the most important. We have seventh house partners coming out. Sun and Spirit is on the bottom. All right, cosmic influences is going to be that Mars moving into Leo, right? That's going to bring a lot of passionate energy, especially if you have Aries, and you do because you have Aries moon, right? If I'm correct, I'm starting to remember everybody's stuff. How cool is that? But anyway, so I believe that you have Aries moon. So Mars moving into Leo is probably going to be your biggest cosmic influence this week, the 13th through the 19th. And it could have something that like sparks some type of passion when it comes to seventh house partnerships, right? Like relationships. All right, I'm going to use the soul's journey and let's see what challenge or obstacle you may face with this energy. All of them, they all want to come out. We have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. How interesting. Forgiveness is on the bottom. All right. Now I'm going to look at spiritual guidance using Queen of the Moon. So I feel like something's been slow, right? The growth card coming out with adversity, like there hasn't been much growth in the relationship department. Definitely dealing with some challenges in that area. But the message is saying that you gained something. Maybe you got a period that of time where you spent on your own and you became stronger, wiser, smarter. You know what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff. Like that could be what it's saying here. Right, exactly. The beauty card comes out, and the beauty card says, see the beauty of the situation. So, was it hard doing something on your own? Did you experience some type of stagnancy in relationship growth? Yes, you did. But whatever that challenge was, again, it made you stronger, wiser, braver, all of those things. All right, Sherry, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. All right, so next on the list is Dina. My music stopped playing, y'all. Let's see if I can go back and find some. Got some Rod Stewart. Still doing okay with sound. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Can you hear any music? Let me know if you can hear music in the background. Sandra gives us audio check. Ooh, we have Yod coming out. Destiny, number 48. 10th house, the world. Ooh, Dina, this is exciting. Okay, so a Yod is like the hand of fate. They're rare. They don't, I mean, a rare situation. Um, they have this triangle shape. You probably can't see it in the video. But one, I would look through the 13th through the 19th to see if we're experiencing any yods. You can do that over at astro.com. And then that day could be specific for you. But 10th house is and it's the world card. 10th house is career, job. So you could have some type of like destined, fated energy this week that happens with your job or your career, something like that, right? And when it's the hand of fate, when it's like, God touches your life type of thing, it's always good, right? It's always something good that happens. It's some blessing, some big thing that comes in. So that's super exciting. Cosmic influence. Let's see if we can figure out what challenge or obstacle you may face with that situation. The number 48 could be significant as well. I'm not sure. A number, a birth date, phone number, a date. I don't know. All right, the humor card came out. Perseverance comes out. Make light of a situation. You're having to push through something that's challenging or hard. It says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Patience is on the bottom. All right, let's get some spiritual guidance with Queen of the Moon. Acceptance comes out, and it's number 4. The extremes card is also here. I felt this energy throughout the whole reading. You're going to want, someone could be testing you. You're going to have to push through something. The whole thing is going to bring you some type of acceptance when it comes to a partnership, 2 people. But the most important part here is going to be the extremes. 34 could be significant as well. The 4s are sticking out. But and this could be a financial situation. But it's like, normally the extremes or hot moon card is this energy of not letting your emotions control your actions. This week, Dina, there's something opposite about that. It's more like, yes, be passionate about something and let it give you the driving force you need to be able to move forward in some direction that has to do with like 10th house, career, job, that type of thing. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. All right, so next on the list, we have Jenna. Jenna on YouTube, getting the cosmic influence reading. You do hear it a little. Let me turn it down a notch. Rod Stewart can get a little loud. Tina says, I love it. I don't know what it means, but I'm here for all the good energy. Well, thank you, Tina. All right, there's Jenna. Jenna's getting cosmic influence. Dina, look up Yods, because that's going to be huge. Something good and exciting could be happening this week. All right, Jenna, let's see. Cosmic influence. Will you be seeing any Yods this week? Hands of fate, destiny. We have fourth house roots. Family is the word that I heard. Virgo, I analyze. This could have something to do with over analyzing as well. Virgo is normally fifth house, which also has to do, I know we're looking at fourth house roots. Okay, so your fourth house, where you came from, your fourth house is where you're the child. Your fifth house looks at your children. So your fourth house is your parents, your siblings, your roots. Your fifth house is the life that you created, the home you created, your children, your yada yada, right? So fourth house, your sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, fathers, mothers, that type of energy. Your roots, number 28 comes out. All right, let's look at what challenge or obstacle. Cosmic influence, that could be some, you're Leo, so definitely could be some Mars moving into Leo, causing some passions to rise, right, in a family situation. But also, I was going to say all the different moon transits is causing for an emotional week. So this could have something to do with an emotional situation in a family environment, family situation. All right, let's see what the challenge or obstacle may be. We have success coming out in reverse. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. And then we have friendship coming out. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Imagination is on the bottom. Maybe it could be a family friend, something like that. All right, let's pull some guidance, Queen of the Moon. For you, Jenna, I think it has something to do with being tested. It can have something to do with a family friend for sure, but it's going to be like roots, where you came from, home situation, childhood. All right, let's get some guidance for Jenna. Queen of the Moon, look at that. The protection card comes out. It's number 24. Could have, again, and we talked about, family roots, parents, siblings, that type of thing. You got the protection card. So you could have a passed on loved one that's protecting you through this journey, something like that. You could have a friendship that passed, somewhere, a friend, close friend that passed on in childhood, something like that. Regardless, the goal or like the spiritual guidance here is that you're highly protected as you go through this challenging energy with this family situation. All right, I'm going to leave that right there. I hope that was helpful. I did see the growth card on the bottom, Jenna. Yods is Yods. Yods. They make like a triangle. It's a triangle. It's a weirdly shaped triangle. Did that resonate, Jenna? Are you dealing with any type of like family issue? Are you having any situation with like siblings, brothers, sisters? Um, is there like a function coming up, a reunion? I don't know. It's getting very strong family roots. All right, Sandra is next. She's ready to go. And she is doing the cosmic influences. So we're starting out the Black Moon Oracle. We have Leo, I will, so that's super easy. Remember, we talked about Mars moving into Leo. You probably didn't. Okay, so you're a Scorpio, and Mars also rules Scorpio. We forget that a lot, right? We always talk about Mars and Aries, Mars and Aries. Well, guess what? Mars rules Scorpio too. I know Pluto rules Scorpio, but so does Mars. Scorpio actually has those two ruling planets, Pluto and Mars. So Mars being in Cancer was not fun for you either. It means that again, you had to get into your feelings, and Scorpio is already deep into their feelings, deep into their emotions. But the thing is that Scorpio hides it, right? So you were hiding a lot of things. So Mars in Cancer made you pull all that stuff up to the surface and show the whole world, right? I bet that wasn't exactly fun, but I bet it brought a lot of growth, right? A lot of change, a lot of growth. Now, as Mars moves into Leo, the cosmic influence for you is definitely going to be Mars and Leo at the end of the week, right? That energy is going to make you so excited for like new passions, new adventures. I feel like the fog could be clearing as well as when Mars is moving from Cancer into Leo, because Mars and Leo could have caused a lot of emotional fog for you, as you know, through that whole period that it was in there, in the direct time and the retrograde time. But now, as Mars moves into Leo, it's more drive, passion, and it's like you're going so quickly, the fog clears, right? On the bottom, lunar eclipse change. We just experienced that. So very possible. You also have that Libra moon. So very possible that, look at me remembering everybody's stuff. Anyway, the Libra moon could definitely impact you with that Libra full moon on the 12th, right? So both of those energies. The Libra full moon is actually the day before the week we're looking at, and the Leo, the Cancer, stop it, Rosa. The Mars moving into Leo, that's going to be at the end of the week. So the whole week, definitely, right? All right, let's pull some Soul's Journey. Guys, Sandra actually gifted me the Soul's Journey by James Van Krog. And let's see what challenge or obstacles you may face as Mars moves into Leo. All right, two cards. Service. I feel good when I can help others. Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality. It came out in reverse. So you already know you are of service. You already know you have a service that you need to be doing or giving. That could be what your drive is going towards, like maybe your purpose, your passion, something like that. Abundance in reverse is giving me a little bit of icky feeling. Failure is on the bottom. You could have some negative thinking when it comes to abundance, like, are you worthy? Should you be allowed to be rich and have money and be able to follow your purpose and enjoy your life? A lot of us feel like, no, we shouldn't, right? Like we feel we have some weird like blockage that says we're not worthy of like abundance and happiness and whatever. So it's very possible that is why that came out in reverse. So whatever happens with this drive and this passion that goes towards your purpose, it's going to be so clear to you. You should be able to remove that blockage, right? All right, let's pull some Queen of the Moon for guidance. Sandra says, I'm ready for Leo. Patience. The patience card comes out, but let's talk about it for a moment because I'm using Queen of the Moon and the patience card is a little bit different than any other patience card. So most patience card says you got to wait, like sit back and just get ready to wait. But this patience card actually says you've already been patient for a very long time and you're at the end of some waiting period. You're at this breaking point where something's about to break through. You're holding this balloon. The reason she has the balloon in the picture is the point is that she was so patient. She lived like she already had the thing that she thought she needed. She didn't live in this lack mentality. So spirit rewarded her with this balloon, right? That's why you're holding this balloon. It's like you've already been gifted whatever this abundance is. You already know it's right here. Tip of your fingertips type of energy here. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. All right. Vanessa is next. It does sound exciting, Sandra. All right, Vanessa is also doing Cosmic Influence. So we're going to start out with Black Moon Oracle. Gemini, I think, comes out. It's number 15. Let me get my notes out. All right. My throat is getting super scratchy, y'all. Bear with me. All right, so here's what I see on the 15th. The moon is in Scorpio and it's trying Saturn and Pisces. That's that energy where I was like, you're going to have to be super disciplined, take control of your passions, open up to new experiences because the moon will later on in the day move into Sagittarius. My throat is super scratchy, but it could just be because I'm sick and I've been talking for over an hour. But it could also have something to do. Let's go ahead and close that list, please. Let's go ahead and close that list. It could have something to do with your thoughts, negative thinking. Gemini is communication, your mind. So on the 15th, you could have to deal with something that has to do with discipline, following purpose, passion when it comes to your thoughts or how you communicate. I'm going to say thoughts because the card says, I think. On the bottom, we have Black Moon Lilith, a mystery. You could be trying to figure something out. All right, let's look at the challenge or obstacle, Vanessa, that you may experience with this energy. We have patience and peace. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. So this could have something to do with releasing negative thoughts and being patient, waiting for something. You could be waiting for something to come in. Envy is on the bottom. You could be thinking that someone else is getting something and you're not. But Spirit's just asking you to be a little patient, a little longer. All right, let's do some Queen of the Moon for guidance. New beginnings is here, and I see the archway. A new moon. So remember I said that we just have full moon on the 12th, and then the new moon comes into the month. So this could be telling you that just be patient a little bit longer. Something could be coming in for you for this new moon in Taurus. That could be significant for you. That could be what you're waiting for, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. All right. Yes, guys, please remember to hit that thumbs up button for me for sure. Thank you, Diana. All right, Michelle is next. Chanley, Diana, Tiona, and Divine Timing to wrap it up. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, guys, I'm going to take just a tiny little break. And I'm going to let you guys watch our video. And in just a few moments, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. And I believe we are on Michelle. Diana's telling everyone about our birth chart giveaway tonight. Yes, guys, if you're participating tonight in the readings, I will enter your name at the end. Guys, you do have to be here in order to win. If we draw somebody and they happen to not be here, we have to keep drawing until someone wins that is still here. So make sure to stick around even after you got your reading. And I know you're probably thinking, like, why would I want to stick around and listen to someone else's reading? Guys, Spirit talks to us in many different ways, and we are experiencing collective energy. So it's very possible that someone else's reading could ring true for you in another area of your life, could give you guidance or show you a new option that maybe you didn't think of before, right? I also want to point out, guys, the schedule has changed this week. So notice we are on Monday night. We normally do love and astrology on Sunday night, right? We had that schedule for a little over a year, so it was kind of nice. But we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. And Wednesday, I will be back with all 12 signs. If you come and join me live, awesome. If you're not able to, don't worry. I will put timestamps in after the live stream is over. And then on Friday night, I'm going to do something special. We're going to do a collective reading where we're looking at the eclipse energy aftermath, right? So what's happening after we went through eclipse season. And that's going to be Friday night. All of these are 8 p.m. Central Time. Central Time. Guys, if you're looking for private readings, you can find the links for that in the description box. You can find private readings over in my Etsy shop or over on our PLR website as well. All right, here we go, Michelle. Why do I think it's Michelle? Vanessa. My thing says Xian Li. Did I skip Michelle on my list? Where am I at? Now I gotta go check. So, Michelle, did I miss you on my list? Are you after Vanessa? I seen you said hi, so I just figured, yes. All right, so I missed you on my list. I just want to make sure I wasn't skipping anyone. Sherry says, I hear all kinds of messages in other readings. Sweet. Thank you, Diana, for the clarifying for me. Thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. First thing I'm looking at is the cosmic influence. And we do have that lunar eclipse change card. I tried to shuffle it like 100 times. It's like I felt it trying to come out in the last reading. So lunar eclipse is number 43. So we did just experience a lunar eclipse. So I would definitely say go back to that time. What was happening to you around that time, right? Because that energy is still impacting you guys. Eclipses last 6 months. 6 months. So it's not just when it happened. That energy can go all the way through for 6 months. Neptune is on the bottom, sacrifice. Could have something to do with your dreams, desires, confusion, 12th house mystery. I think it has something to do. I'm hearing there could be some confusion with what it is that you want. I'm hearing a lot of stuff, man. Let's pull challenges or obstacles real quick. Michelle, what happened to you around the Virgo lunar eclipse? Courage and worry. Courage is I find the inner strength to face fear and with confidence, and worry is I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So something happened to you around that time where I feel like now this week, because this energy is past and it's so far past, I feel like this is the week that you gain the courage that was needed back at this time, whenever that lunar eclipse was happening. You were over worrying something, over stressing about something. Now you feel much more confident in whatever that is. Maybe not over worrying as much either. Could have something to do with relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good, was on the bottom. All right, let's pull a guidance card out. I'm not necessarily feeling like you're having any challenges this week. I feel like you actually are having a result of a previous challenge, that Virgo lunar eclipse that we experienced last month. All right, look at that. Big confirmation, purity. Now you have a clean slate. You can go and do as you please, right? You were definitely over worried about something because this outcome would have came out anyway, regardless, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there, Michelle. I hope that was helpful. All right, now I have Tia Lee on my list. Tia say hi to me. I see you. Michelle says, didn't know. Yes, eclipse energy, 6 months, guys. 6 months. Are you cutting out? Is it cutting out? Sweet. Thank you, Michelle. All right, Qian Li is also doing Cosmic influence. I don't know why it does that. How can it cut out on Facebook but not YouTube? Isn't that weird? All right. And I'll try to talk more into the mic as well. And I suppose I can turn the music down a little bit too. I told you Rod Stewart can get loud. All right, let's see. Chanley, cosmic influence the week of the 13th through the 19th. Oh, I just seen your picture. I have a screen in front of me. It's one of those big curved screens. And I just seen your picture. I've never seen your picture before. It's so tiny on my laptop, I can't actually see it. But I just seen it. It looks like you're wearing a hat and giving the peace sign. And she's got the dark hair and dark eyes. Surprise! All right. South Node Life Debts comes out, leaving something in the past. Right now, the South Node is actually in Virgo. It was in Libra all the way up until January 11th, Chanley, of this year. And that's where we were like leaving people, past relationships, people that didn't serve our greater good in the past. And then we were moving forward without them. Like people couldn't go with us where we were headed, right? Now that now that the South Node has went from Libra to Virgo, it's more about focusing on our health, focusing on, um, like we're letting go of things like overthinking, over analyzing, over stressing, over worrying. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are being like left in the past. So that could be something that you're focusing on this week. Excuse me. Um, I would say definitely look on your own birth chart. Where's your South Node? That could be a big placement. And then, of course, all of this could have something to do with Mars leaving Cancer into Leo, because that's the transit that's happening this week. And then also all those moon transits where we're dealing with a lot of like fluctuations of our emotions, right? Third house messages is on the bottom. So all of this South Node leaving something in the past, some debt, some karmic debt that's balancing out, all could have something to do with your third house and something to do with messages. All right. The soul's journey. Have I told you lately that I love you? I think that's Rod Stewart is playing. That could be the message, right? Someone could be sending a love message. All right, let's see. What's challenge or obstacle that you may face with the situation? Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change, and relationships, right? I think it is someone sending a message, someone from the past, right? I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. On the bottom is the happiness card. All right, let's pull a guidance card for Chanley. Definitely something or someone from your past. We see blossoming, number 33. That's my favorite. It says something new is happening, occurring, and creation says you could have manifested this situation. I love that. All right, Chanley, I'm going to leave that right there. I hope that was helpful. Now, girl, if someone from your past comes back and delivers a message about love because you manifested it, you're gonna have to like message me. I don't care if it's like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever. Just message me and tell me that this thing happened. I love it. All right, next is Diana. Diana is doing Talking to Heaven. All right, so Talking to Heaven is the mediumship cards that I use. I've been hearing Spirit tell me that I need to get more, and I need to broaden my horizons. I understand, but I just want to say, like, as a child, this was something that we didn't mention. We didn't, like, we didn't talk. I didn't talk about this. I didn't tell people, hey, I see these weird things and people, and I can talk to them and they talk to me. I think this happens to a lot more of us than we actually realize, and I think a lot of us run from it or are scared of it. And so you know our brains are weird because our brains can like manipulate and turn things into things that it's not, just due to things like fear, right? So I think a lot of us actually have the ability of mediumship. We just don't realize it due to our own fears or due to like our own just lack of knowledge, right? But what I will say is when I had my spiritual awakening, and spirit said, if you build it, they will come, right? And we did, and you did. um, when all of that happened, it was like part of the deal. It was like spirit told me that there's people that are going to come, and their person, like the person that awakened them, is actually on the other side. For the longest time, I thought that it meant that every person that came to me and their counterpart energy was on the other side. I thought it meant that their person died in this lifetime, and actually, that's not true. Some people's counterpart, or like that type of situation, like they didn't incarnate into this lifetime, right? That's what a twin flame is. It's a simultaneous incarnation of your soul. It means your soul's down here 2 times, right? Sometimes on these journeys, the twin flame is still the twin flame, still having the same type of awakening, the same journey, still learning the same lessons, but their person never incarnated in this lifetime. And then, of course, sometimes the person did pass. So I do get a lot of twin flames that their person passed away, drawn to me, and that shit scares me every single time I get these waves that come like through the Etsy shop. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it, because I'm like, I don't know what it is. At this point, I'm learning about um like quantum immortality, and this type of stuff. So it's like I'm just jumping timelines. Like, I don't like it. I'm not dealing with it. Nope, we're going to a different one. You know what I mean? And that's really how you manifest the life that you want, literally. But that's where I'm at in my journey. And the talking to heaven has, like I said, it's just been part of the deal. It's like part of the purpose. Like, as I follow my purpose, there's going to be people that are drawn to me that I have to do mediumship readings for, so that they can get the message, from the other side of the veil, right? But again, not a magical power, not anything that I have that can't be learned. I feel like that's something that people, we have this gatekeeping thing going on, where we want to feel like, people want to feel like they're more powerful or more special or more something than someone else, or we have to feel like, oh, I can do something and I don't want to tell you how to do it, so you can't learn how to do it yourself, and then you got to keep paying me to do it. And like, I understand that we all have businesses, and we all need growth, and we all need this type of thing, and there's going to be something that I do that you're not going to be able to do, that you're going to come to me for service for, but it's not going to be everything, right? It's not going to be everything. And there's going to be things that you're going to learn on your own, and that you're going to grow and make better and do better, right? At that maybe than I do, right? So I just want to point that out, because I feel like it's really important that we all understand that, one, this is my spiritual awakening journey. This is why I do PLR. And it's like, you're having an awakening journey. There's going to be something that you are going to have to do, and mediumship may be part of the deal, right? All right. So James Van Prague, really common, well known spiritualist. I actually went to this week-long free seminar that he did completely free on Facebook. It was one of the rare seminars that I can go, that I could afford, right? I'm starting my own business, guys. It's not like you're not a billionaire out the gate, right? So it's like I have to really budget and pay attention to where I invest and these types of things. So when James Van Prague came out and said, I'm doing a free you know, week-long seminar on Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm there. That's got my name all over it. So I just love using these cards for mediumship. I do understand. I do hear spirit telling me that I need to expand and broaden, you know, all the things. I get it. But for now, this is what we're going to use. I like to read the message out of the card after I channel the information that I receive. Because sometimes people say to me that there's something in the message of out of the book that sounds like something their person would have actually said to them. That happens to me more often than not, Chanley. Diana, I don't know why I still have Chanley on there. um, but yeah. So let me know when I read it out of the book. All right, here we go, Diana. I have become one of your guides. It is beautiful where I am. Let's read that it is beautiful where I am. All right. I become one of your guides. Right away, I felt like this was a message you've actually gotten before. So I'm not really getting like a normal channeled message like I normally get. I'm getting like this is someone that you long for. This is someone that you miss. This is even someone that their passing could even at times cause you to want to go towards them, wonder what it would be like when you get there and are able to reach out towards them. That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up right now. But the message is going to come from it is beautiful where I am. So I'm going to read it out of the book, and I think there's going to be something that I'm going to say, and it's going to be like, oh, that's something they used to say, right? Something like that. All right. I wish that for just a moment I could share my world with you. This heavenly realm is beyond description. It is where colors, hues, and patterns of all different types sing and come alive. Here, there is brilliant light that permeates everything, and everything in turn is filled with indescribable joy. Here, you suddenly become aware that you are connected to everything. There is no anger or hardness in this world. Those emotions have been replaced with overwhelming peace and joy. It is love at its finest. It is heaven, the place where I will be waiting to greet you one day. Ooh, how interesting, because I said something about wanting to like be with that person and meet them when you get there. It is heaven, the place where I will be waiting to greet you one day. All right, Diana, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. All right, next on the list, Tiona. Tiona and Divine Timing to wrap it up. Is that correct, ladies? Let me know. Yes, most definitely. All right. Maternal grandma. Love it. Tiona is doing general guidance. Thank you, Diana. All right, general guidance. We're going to use Queen of the Moon. So let's see what message Spirit has for Tiona. Oh my gosh, I can see your picture too, Tiona. I never got to see what you guys look like. So beautiful. Have mercy. All right, Tiona, let's see. Ooh, we have the Resistance card coming out. We have the Path card coming out. And we have the Hunger card coming out. Bottom of the deck is going to be balance. That's going to be key. That Libra full moon on the 12th could be significant for you. I know we're looking at the week after, but that energy could definitely continue to vibrate through here. All right. I'm getting a little past, present, future, Tiona. In the past, you had some type of resistance to change. You were holding on to something from your past and you refused to let it go. In your present, you've let it go. You're not holding on to it any longer. In fact, you're kind of standing here looking at the path that Spirit has lit up for you, and you're trying to decide, do I want to go down this path? How spiritual do I really want to be? I do feel like that is your present energy. Future energies is going to be where something's going to spark some type of passion, some type of hunger within. And when that happens, you're going to have to be really careful, because this wolf card, really specific energy. One, this is Aries moon energy, and that Aries solar eclipse. Remember, we talked about eclipse energy 6 months long. Aries solar eclipse March 29th, so go 6 months from the 29th. But anyway, something could come, again, spark some type of passion, hunger within. And it's going to be really important that you're feeding the right wolf, right? Because we have the two wolves, right? So we have the good wolf and the bad wolf. If you feed the good wolf, more good things come. If you feed the bad wolf, more challenges, more obstacles, right? So it's going to be important that you're feeding the right wolf, the right things that are causing, that you're going after the things that you're hungry and passionate about in the right way. That's going to be key. All right, I'm going to leave that right there. I hope that was helpful. All right, divine timing to wrap it up for us. And then I hope everybody is still hanging out. We're going to do our drawing for our winner tonight. I'm so excited. Guys, we're going to do this every love and astrology night, um, throughout the month of April. Throughout the month of April. I actually do this every year. It's for my birthday month. All right, divine timing. She says, I'm here. Who won? Who won last week? What was it last week? I know, right? A little bit of a brain. Sherry. It was Sherry. Sherry won the chakra balance reading. I actually just got that chakra balance reading to her. Thank you for being so patient, Sherry. I love you. Um, but yeah, Sherry won Chakra Balance. That's what we gave away last time, right? So tonight we're doing Birth Chart Consultation. I normally charge $60 for the Birth Chart Consultation. Again, very lengthy, very detailed. Normally people charge hundreds of dollars for these readings. But again, we're not gatekeeping over here, and we're trying to teach everyone how to do it themselves. Very broad general overview of your chart. And if you happen to win tonight and you've already gotten a birth chart reading from me, because several of you have already, you can gift it to a friend as well. So that should be fun, right? All right. Divine timing. Remind me what reading. Are we doing the cosmic influence? Are we looking for general guidance? Just remind me in the comments real quick. Tiona says, oh, thank you, Tiona. I just did one for Diana too. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you. I love this. Diana's posted the new schedule. Monday, love and astrology. Wednesday, all 12 signs. Friday, always different. Absolutely. I try to do something different every time. We like the pick of cards. I like the collective readings. That's what we're going to do this weekend. And I mean, this Friday. And I am looking at aftermath energy. So eclipse aftermath, for the collective. So that should be interesting. All right. Divine timing says cosmic influences. Divine Timing says, I just got your reading. I haven't finished it yet. Interesting. All right. Which one? I just turned in a couple. I just turned in a couple in Etsy shop. Did you have an Etsy shop reading? All right. Cosmic influence. I'm starting out with the Black Moon Oracle. Yeah, I just caught up in my Etsy shop. So all Etsy shops are readings are caught up. I am full this week with live one-on-ones. I'm so grateful for all of you guys booking me up like that. It's super beautiful, super exciting, perfect for my birthday week, right? So one-on-ones are booked this week, guys. We're now working and booking into the next week, so that is super exciting. But yes, personal readings in the Etsy shop, guys. I am caught up today. All right, 10th house. And again, thank you guys for being so patient with me in the Etsy shop. I was sick and I did take 2 days and it was definitely much needed. So if you waited for your reading, I love you so much. Thank you for being so patient, right? All right, 10th house, the world is coming out. Divine timing. This is going to have something to do with career, job, that type of energy. I do see Saturn return on the bottom. I would ask you if you're having a Saturn return, but you're probably not. I feel like this is going to be more about the discipline energy when it comes to career, job, financial focus, that type of thing. So that's going to be the influence and could have something to do with that Mars moving out of Cancer into Leo, because it's going to give us drive, passion. It's going to give us like a burst of energy to go after the things we want. And it's much needed. This is the beginning of the new year. This is when we're looking for that burst of energy. I know it's not the beginning of the new year, like, from January on, but from the new year, as it's supposed to be, like the lunar calendar, this is the new year, right? All right, freedom is here. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. This definitely could have something to do with financial freedom, and love also comes out, but I don't think it's about the love. I think it's about the message. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. This is definitely about that disciplined Saturn energy, right? You're going to have to get really disciplined and committed to something that has to do with your purpose and your career. Change is on the bottom. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. All right, let's do Queen of the Moon for guidance to wrap it up for divine timing. And then we will get everyone's name wrote down in for the drawing, and we will pull the winner tonight, guys, tonight. All right, divine timing, Queen of the Moon, focus on career, some type of massive change. Action is here. It is the card that says it's time to take action, and not just any action, right? Disciplined action. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope it was helpful. Ooh, I see the masculine on the bottom. Divine timing. When we see that masculine card, sometimes it could have something to do with focus, balancing that masculine and feminine energy. But of course, it could also have to do with like masculine energy counterpart, right? All right, let's get. Let's see how we're gonna do it. Have a little plate we can use. Oh, I hit the camera. So sorry. My bad. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write everyone's name down that participated tonight, and we're going to put your name in the little tray. I'm going to start out with Jocelyn. Jocelyn, say hi to me and let me know that you're still here and that you waited so very patiently. There's Jocelyn's name on her ticket. I'm just going to fold it a couple of times and stick it in there. Next, we have Sherry. So I'm just going to tear it off. Sherry. Fold it a couple of times. Stick it in there. Dina is next. And there's Dina. Folding it up a couple of times. Sticking it in there. Jenna. There's Jenna. Stick it in there. Sandra is next. I love these little stickies. All right, so there's Sandra. Folding it up in the little tray. Vanessa. There's Vanessa. Oh my God. Michelle was after Vanessa. Then we had Chanley. There's Chanley. Then we had Diana. There's Diana. Then we had Tiona. And there's Tiona. And then we had Divine Timing. All right, and there's Divine Timing. All right. All right, guys. We got to have the drum roll. Ooh, one popped out. Should we just use the one that popped out? Let's do it. Ready? Here we go. Our winner is Tiona. Congratulations, Tiona. Birth chart reading, or you can gift it to a friend. All right, so everybody, congratulations, Tiona. I love how it popped out on its own. All right, so Tiona, here's what I'm going to need from you. I'm going to need some information. I'm going to need your birth date and place of birth and time of birth if you have it. If you don't have time of birth, you don't need it, but of course it does make for a much better reading if you have it. All right, so I'm going to need that information before I can get started. You can email me that information at purplelunarrose@gmail.com. And I will get that to you as quickly as possible. Of course, if you want to gift it to me, just let me know that in the email as well. But that's the information I need for the chart. So birth date, time, and place, right? All right, congratulations. And thank you everyone who participated tonight. Guys, remember, next Monday, we're going to do this all over again. And we'll have another giveaway that we're giving next Monday, Love and Astrology. So make sure to come back and join us for that, right? All right, guys. Thank you everyone for coming in. My moderators, thank you so much. Thank you for dealing with me and my sick, scratchy voice. I promise I'm feeling so much better. Definitely still need to practice some self-care, which I will be doing on my off days. But yes, I'm definitely on the upside of this whole sinus cold thing, right? I'm so happy for you, Tiona. So exciting. All right, guys. I love you all. See everybody Wednesday for all 12 signs. Have a good night, everyone. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you, guys.